Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Any Way You Slice It. It's another album ranking. I'm Jason, this is Peter. We're going to be your host for tonight and every night on this channel. We're doing Aerosmith. Who doesn't like Aerosmith? At least old Aerosmith. Come on. Our lists are different. We each have 11 albums. But I went through the 70s and 80s studio albums, and I added Live Bootleg because it's such an important album in their discography. He went a different route and didn't include some of the late 80s albums, but included more live albums. So either way, you're getting 11 albums from both of us.
The way I looked at it is the mid 80s ones and on. I mean, I just really don't like them. I mean, I really don't like the sound of them. I don't like their intent in general. So decided to just not talk about things that I don't want to be more negative than I need to. So because there are other albums that I really do like. So that was my view.
Yeah.
They lost me at a certain point there, and
I agree with everything he just said, except I would say anything after Pump we're not talking about it.
And with pop music like this, sometimes it's where you were at the time, and you were in the right place at the right time for that. Like you've always said, you were getting into Beatles and Bob Dylan at that time,
Yeah.
So I don't understand you liking Pump, but to each their own. I mean, I don't know. It's just where you were. What you were into. Maybe you hadn't really been into a lot of commercial rock at that point, and maybe it was a breath of fresh air for a minute, and it hooked you. I don't know.
I was hugely into Aerosmith at the time.
Oh yeah, see, that'll help.
So it was their new album.
That'll help.
And
yeah,
I guess we can get right into it because Pump is my number 11 on my list. So we're talking about it already. But before that, let's talk really quick how we did get into the band. A little history.
You what was it for you? I have this isn't a 70s story, but it's a classic. A lot of people's story, I think, given my generation. When was it for you that you got into them? Since my story will be
heavily into them, like Done with Mirrors, when that came out. But even before then, my friend Tim Ely, neighborhood chum, had this on vinyl. I just call this the Red Greatest Hits because this has all, I guess, what you could call the hits. Not a lot of deep cuts on here, but you got your Dream On, Same Old Song and Dance, blah blah blah. Last Child, Draw the Line, Kings and Queens. The cool thing about this, Come Together, is on here. Before this, you could only get that on the Sgt. Pepper.
It has Walking in the Sand too, right?
Yeah.
So that had a couple songs that were maybe singles, but not off their albums.
I think Walking in the Sand was the newest single when this came out.
That was off Night in the Ruts.
Yeah. But
now that song probably wouldn't make a greatest hits, but at the time they tried to consider it part of the.
So when this came out, or at least when I started to listen to it, I wasn't burnt out on Walk This Way. I wasn't burnt out on Walk This Way, or I guess that's the only real burnout song for me.
So you're a couple
Dream
years
On, burned out.
Couple of years older than me, so I thought you were gonna have like a cooler, I was listening to Draw the Line in my bedroom or whatever, but. It sounds like it's pretty much the same era. So I was literally at my grandma's house, and the Run DMC Aerosmith thing came on.
A lot of people got turned on to Aerosmith that way.
And I really didn't like the Run DMC aspect. For me, myself, I've never really been into hip-hop at all. Although I did have a Fat Boys record back in 1982 or 83. My love for hip-hop lasted less than a week. I checked it out from the library, actually. Okay. Once I returned it, I was like that. Oh, actually, I had King of Rock on cassette also. And I kind of like that.
Okay.
But I emphasized kind of. So, but I didn't really like the rap aspect, but I liked Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler's voice it got me. And I was like, and I knew the original song from just hearing on the radio in the car and stuff with my parents. So it kind of hooked me, and I kind of thought, oh, what is this? Because that was the only Aerosmith video you were going to see day to day on MTV at that point.
Oh, definitely.
So I saw that, and then just like you, this is the one I went and purchased this first on cassette, and that really did it for me. I loved this, and then the next one I got was Toys in the Attic, and then I got Rocks and blah blah blah. So
yeah.
But that was anyway. I think that's a common because their popularity was just really starting to hit after their little break with Perry, and then Done with Mirrors was a good album, but it didn't hit commercially. And so the next thing that really hit was that, that Walk This Way thing.
So yeah, I had been into this, and then I remember the video for Lightning Strikes on a local cable show.
That's cool.
And my memory of that video is the song's cool, and the singer looks wasted, which he was.
I think he was.
In hindsight, we know that.
Yeah.
And then Seattle radio started to talk about this new Aerosmith album that was coming out, and Joe Perry's back, and the album was Done with Mirrors, and so they were playing tracks from it and stuff, and I was into it. I remember getting it from Columbia House Records and Tapes, and someday I'll get to paying for that.
See that would explain what helped that album hit you harder than it hit me. I originally got it on like a Payless or a Pay and Save, where you turn the rack, and you got that's how I got Paul Stanley's solo and Peter Criss solo, original Casablanca cassettes with the white edge, for a couple bucks, and that's how I got this for like $2.50 or whatever. And I remember the notch on it was so fucking barbaric. When you get a record with a notch in it or a cassette, you're hoping they just barely nick it. They just destroyed the fucking corner of this Done with Mirrors cassette, and it was brand new. And I remember it had kind of a UV coating, and I remember that cassette smelled really good. Not as good as my Somewhere in Time did, but pretty good. And I was excited to get it, but I didn't anticipate it. I literally got it off a bargain rack. So, you know what I mean? It just hit me like, just another album. And it didn't really have the classic hits. So, although I did recognize it was good, some of the other ones hit me hard. But that you anticipated it and was following it when it came out. So that's cool.
It was all over the radio.
Yeah. But it didn't last that long.
No.
I mean, Music Doing the Talking, that was the single, right?
Yes.
And then... What was the other single from that album?
Maybe, what's it called? Where's it at? That's the third song, I think, was...
Good luck reading backwards, Jason.
Shame on You, maybe.
Is it really all backwards? Completely?
Yes. So I was looking at the... Oh, first of all, it's not when you look at it like that. Look at that. So when you're looking at this, not in the camera... It's backwards, so not there. Same with this on the back. Wait, now it's backwards. Oh, I guess not now. But you have to. Anyway.
So in the new version, they flipped it, so it's probably only reversed on the back.
Yeah.
Because they're like, let's at least let people read it.
Oh, it came with an order form. You want to show that to the people?
Yeah. This is all very like Kiss and like Shout at the Devil. Type. My Draw the Line has an order form too.
Let's look at the prices on here. I like to do that. To get a jersey T-shirt, Peter, you're gonna have to mow a few lawns for that.
Yeah.
$14.
$14.
Yeah.
Well, it was mid '80s already.
Yeah.
So.
Tour program. $6.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Ooh, you could even get an acrylic mirror. You think those are the ones like you get at the fair?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Some cool stuff. A poster, $4. So go mow some lawns next summer and buy everything on here. But yeah, cool stuff. But we're going to talk about this in a little bit because we haven't even got to our list yet.
So why don't you? Did you just mention your 10 already? Go for it. You go.
Well,
you can go first.
No, 11. I have 11.
11. That's right. You can go first on it.
Pump.
So it's good for you, but not.
Came out in '89. At the time, I liked it. I'm going to say this right now. Janie's Got a Gun is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. I fucking hate that song.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It is very annoying, especially when you hear it 10,000 billion times.
Repetitive,
on the radio.
Annoying.
And the stupid video was all over MTV. I loathe that song. Can't stand it. Loving in Elevators on there. That's not bad.
Love in an Elevator, when it came out and the video was on MTV, I did think it was a fun song.
Yeah.
I guess I stressed the word fun. That's really all it was.
Yeah, at least it was a rocker.
Yeah.
There's decent stuff on there. Do I listen to it now? No. I don't listen to Pump. I did for our little show here. I listened to it a couple times because I want to know where it was going to be in the ranking.
Yeah.
And I predicted it was going to be last, and sure enough it is. So yeah, Pump's my number 11.
Okay.
It was the start of their downfall, but there's some decent stuff on there.
So since I don't have Permanent and Pump and On anything from those, because I really just don't like them, I will say something about them really quick, so I at least get to say something. My problem is not the quality and his singing and the producing of those albums, and some of the albums before that are good and rock. They don't quite have the hooks maybe that Permanent and Pump do. Those albums are all about hooks, and they're meant to really hit hard.
Which is why they enlisted Desmond Child to write those hooks.
Whether you're a musician or not, they're meant to hit hard on the radio and stuff. And I think they are really strong for what they're trying to do. It's just I just don't like the intent. That overt commerciality is just not. It
became more overt and obvious with each album, and that's why we're not going there.
And what you said about Janie's Got a Gun, a lot of those songs to me are annoying, honestly.
Yeah, but that one just gets under my skin.
Yeah, you don't want to be sick in the car and hear that come on. It doesn't even have any cool chords or a cool riff in the song to save it. It's just...
No, I don't like it at all.
Yeah. Stupid. So for me, number 11 is a great album, but the recording, and I know they had Jack Douglas. This is like bootleg I'm talking about. I know they had Jack Douglas on the case, and he'd be recording them, and they really were kind of recording, and he'd be in there compressing it a certain way, and the recordings are raw as hell, but they're recorded just good enough to where, like...
Someone has a good smell.
Is this... Oh, yeah? They do have the energy still. It's not like a total bootleg where it's a little cassette deck over in the other side of the arena and Led Zeppelin's 300 feet that way. It's... some of those boots where you can hardly tell what's going on. This isn't like that, but it is. It definitely does sound raw.
Yeah, I don't think there's many overdubs on this, if any at all. Standard Columbia logo there. Yeah. That's a price tag on there.
Yeah. It's a cool cover, and it's a cool idea, I think. I think it's a fun album. The other two live albums I'm going to mention, I think, are just punchier and recorded a little better, and they're really great classic songs just like that are on here. But this does capture the end of that era, kind of. This is what Draw the Line tour.
Yes.
And that's cool that there's a live album from that era, I think.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about this here in a little bit too.
So I do love it, although I love all this other stuff a little more.
Okay, so my number 10 is, you could have guessed it, right? Permanent Vacation. I want to stress, though, I like it way better than Pump. And I was really into Permanent Vacation. The one and only time I ever seen Aerosmith was on the Permanent Vacation tour.
Yeah.
Now, let me stress something to you. I did go see Kiss and Aerosmith in 2003 when they toured together.
Yeah.
But I left after Kiss.
Really?
Because at that point...
You were pissed?
Well, do you want to see Aerosmith in 2003?
Yeah.
Yeah. The main reason, to be honest with you, I might have just stayed for shits and giggles.
Because Joey hates Kiss?
No, because...
is it personal?
Because my friend and myself had our daughters with us in Kiss makeup, and they didn't want to sit through Aerosmith, and I can't blame them.
I mean, you got to admit, Steven's voice has held up pretty well. For the kind of screaming he does, his voice has held up pretty well. Just ask Richard Marx. Remember that interview he did with Paul?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Paul's friend.
Accidentally mentions his nemesis voice holding up so amazing when Paul's having trouble with it.
What did Paul just say, like no comment or something?
Yeah, so about Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where he kind of just swiftly changed the...
Exactly.
Anyway, so yours...
Yeah, wait, let me say a few things about Permanent Vacation. First of all, the second song, which is ironically called Magic Touch, listen to that song and tell me that isn't a late 80s Kiss song. Jesus. It's exactly like a late 80s Kiss song.
With the chorus from another Kiss song. But they're definitely probably not copying Kiss, because those bands were at odds with each other.
Well, something Kiss and Aerosmith had in common at the time, Desmond Child. He wrote those hooks, and this song has those hooks you would hear on Crazy Nights or even Hot in the Shade.
But he didn't co-write Magic Touch.
No, I think he did.
With Kiss?
No. With Aerosmith, that's what the song's called, Magic Touch. So, No. But I Was Made for Loving You, he did. Obviously, the first song. He recorded with Kiss. But yeah, Permanent Vacation, great stuff on there. I love the song Magic Touch we were just talking about. Heart's Done Time, the title track. There's good stuff on there. Now, it's when the Tyler ballads started to really surface and get released as singles, and Angel, no, sorry. Now, don't get me wrong, he sings the hell out of it, and I'm sure it's technically a good song, catchy, whatever, but nah, I've heard it too many times, first of all.
Maybe comment down below, has anybody seen the little clip? It's about a minute long. It's when Steven Tyler and David Lee Roth separately went on Joe Rogan, but they extracted the most ridiculous parts of them, and they flipped the screen so it looks like they're just jibber-jabbering back and forth. Like, one's like, blah, 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 blah. The other one's like, huh? And they're just like being, it's just ridiculous.
I remember you sent that to me. That was
so funny. We should probably put that link in the comments.
If I remember, I'll put a link in the comments.
I still will just turn it on and laugh because it's so bizarre. It's really funny.
It is.
But, you know, this era, me being a big Kiss fan and wanting to be defensive for my boys, when Desmond Child started having all these hits with Aerosmith and Bon Jovi, it's like Paul was probably getting a little sad. Like, how come the hits don't work with us anymore?
Exactly.
But all these other bands are just like the
he
biggest
had
bands
to be.
in the world. Yeah, because it started with Paul.
Especially after Crazy Nights didn't live up to expectations. You know what I mean? It's like they thought they had their multi-platinum album, like 10 million copies.
They got the one biggest song, though, of their career, commercially, I suppose. Because even today, we listen to some Kiss in the car on Amazon app, and the first song listed is I Was Made for Loving You, which means that's their biggest commercial song.
Yeah, I mean, Kiss put Desmond Child on the map, really. That's why Bon Jovi wanted to work with him, right? Yeah. But just really something else quick about Permanent Vacation.
Yeah.
Not a fan of Ragdoll.
Oof, that's on there?
Yeah. Dude Looks Like a Lady. I'm not sick of that one yet. I can tolerate that one. But the other stuff's great. And
for his vocal take alone, he rocks it pretty hard.
Even the cover of I'm Down by the Beatles is good. Yeah, not a bad album. That one doesn't embarrass me, like Everything After Pump does.
Yeah. I'm amazed he could sing like that for so many years. I mean, just obviously, when you listen to his voice, he's shredding his voice to bits. It's just shredding that fucking voice. And still have the pitch control he did in like the last 10 years. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of phenomenal, really.
Yeah. Much respect for Mr. Steven Tyler.
Yeah. So we're on. We've made it to 10 in like what 18 minutes.
Yeah, but now it's just we're gonna knock them out now.
Done with Mirrors for me, and it's hard. And I think a lot of people probably feel this way because once you get past the first couple that you've included, but at the end, then it's just kind of like they were so consistent for a handful of years. It was, you know what I mean. They were really on their shit for a while, from 74 to
the whole 70s
to 80 or whatever. They were really on it. So you could even flip flop some albums around. But for me, this one it's a great recording. It's Ted Templeman, and for me, half this song, half this album has some great hooks, some good choruses, good riffs. The other half is, I would say, as far as hooks and catchiness, on the pretty good level. That's how I feel about it. And the recording is crisp and energetic. I mean, I really like it. It's a different sounding album for them. It doesn't sound like Jack Douglas production. It's not compressed the same way. It's a little bit too roomy, though. It sounds like they're kind of in a practice hall, and they could have just turned those room mics down a little bit. I mean, I guess I do. I love the sound of it in a way, but I do wish the drums were a little tighter sounding. It's a little echoey at times. So that's how I feel about the recording. And
yeah, I read that Ted...
it's a great album, though.
Ted did something, I forgot the name of it, maybe Phantom Recording or something, but basically he would record them when they didn't know they were being recorded.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, run through My Fist Your Face. And he'd record it without letting them know.
So they would... Yeah.
And he got some good performances that way.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell a lot of it is recorded live and has that feel to it.
Sounds live-ish.
And we'll talk about that more when we get to it on my list.
But it's kind of and I do love Done with Mirrors, but the opposite on the tail end of it is Rocks. how it's just tight and punches you in the face. I love that about Rocks. So, but I do find plenty to like about Done with Mirrors. So.
Yeah.
Back to you, Jason.
Whoa, that was cool the way you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from here on out on my list, I love everything. Okay, yeah. So don't be like
me too.
Don't be like, well, you got that at number 9. How could you? Don't get me wrong. I still love it, but there's a list for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I found when I do these rankings is you have something in your mind like, oh, that's one of their best albums. But then you listen to all the albums a couple times because you're doing research, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you start to realize, okay, maybe that's not as high as I thought it might be. As is the case with my number 9, Rockin' a Hard Place. Now, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Jailbait's amazing. Lightning Strikes. Bitches Brew. The title track. Jig Is Up. But first of all, there's no Joe Perry. And is he missed? I mean,
those guys are kind of
you can be
better.
the judge.
They're kind of better, actually.
Yeah,
and not that he's got a cool feel, but I mean, they're good.
Yeah. You can kind of tell that Steven is fully in charge, doing Cry Me a River and Joni's Butterfly. I couldn't picture like that on a Joe Perry album, but I don't know. There's some things that don't really hit for me on this. I know you have it much higher on your list, but it's again, from here on out, I love all these albums. And before I was researching all their albums to do this ranking, I would have had this much higher.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, everything else I'm going to talk about I just like more. So,
yeah.
But still a great album. 1982.
Mm-hmm.
No Perry. No Whitford.
Such a Spinal Tap album cover too.
Yeah. So they had Jimmy Crespo and Rick Dufay.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a couple solos from them on finishing up Night on the Road.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, of course. But so I'm on number 9, and for number 9 for me is
number 9
Classics Live. Number 9. So I got the greatest hits.
Turn me on, Dead Man.
I got Toys in the Attic and Rocks, and right around there sometime I got the Classic Live albums, and man, these are really good. And they're not celebrated like a Rocks or Toys in the Attic or whatever, but they're good recordings, and they're on it, and they're ripping it up. I think that they're really fulfilling for me. They're a great listen, and I've always loved them. I had them on cassette, and I still put them on just as much as anything else. Oh, that's 2. What's that?
It's the same one, I believe, isn't it?
Oh, they use Roman numerals on that. So Live 2. So I have. Oh, there we go. I have 1 inside here.
So Volume 1 is the blue cover.
Yeah.
And that has Major Barbara as I think a bonus track or something, which is an outtake from Get Your Wings.
Do I have the proper back on that? Interesting. Yeah. Totally different versions. One's Roman numeral, one's a number, and then the backs are different, but they're both 2. But this one I have the disc for 1 in it, so I guess I need to update that. And then also, when these came out, these remasters that all do the fade to dark brown to orange or whatever, those sound good. Those sound really good.
Yeah, I get all those, yeah.
They're much louder than the regular CBS Columbia, the red on white logo, the standard 80s look. Those are good too. And if you're making a comp and you're like, why is this one louder? Of course, it's these remasters. They're much louder, but they sound good. And like they did with some bands in the 90s, they would just really remaster the shit out of it and make it really brash sounding and really squish it. But I think the Aerosmith remasters are controlled enough. I think they're good. I think they're really good.
Yeah. My number 9 is, we've already talked about it, Done with Mirrors. Now, this is an album that, to me, I would have told you a couple weeks ago, top 5 Aerosmith album. Absolutely, love that album. But then I start listening to them all, and I'm like, I guess it's not top 5.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to some of that other stuff, man, the early records, it's all hook. It's everything. The guitar intro's a hook, the vocal's a hook, it's a great chorus. It's like, yeah, those albums are paced really well, too. It's like, Rats and Cellar came in right in time or whatever. It's like, and Done with Mirrors is good, but it's good. It's not amazing. That's what I would say. It's darn good, though.
It's definitely fun to pull out and maybe listen to once a year to like crank it up on your way to work or something. Like, you know, there's not one song on there I'm sick of or anything like that. You know, some good grooves on there. Nice to have Perry back.
I would say music, doing the talking, My Fist, and Sheila.
Yeah.
Those are probably the ones. Those are my favorites on there.
She's on Fire is a total Zeppelin type of bluesy thing. Yeah.
Those are my faves, probably.
Gypsy Boots is cool. Yeah. Very good album.
Yep.
Very good album. What do you got at number...
And for number 8, I have Classics Live 2. I figured I'd just put them in order, because, I mean, it's a great set. And I don't really know if you can get them as a twofer. I think you might still have to buy them separately to get both. But... there's everything I said about 1. 2 is just as good, and they were just back, and they sounded great. And I love those live albums.
I'm assuming those came out like after they started to get popular again, kind of like, you know, trying to.
I think the recordings are like late 84, 85, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, I guess, you know, I mean, I thought it was Done with Mears tour, isn't it? I've never really looked into it.
Yeah, I haven't researched that.
It's right around that era, you know. I guess we could look now and...
Not a lot of info on that page. Okay.
Yeah. What do we see here?
We'll let the music do the talkings on there, so...
Yeah. Doesn't say... Mixed... at the record plant. Yeah, I don't know if it doesn't really say like
could have been better packaged.
Recorded on this tour or whatever. So
yeah,
I don't have them on vinyl though. I should probably pick them up on vinyl.
Okay.
All right.
So my number 8. We're up. Wait, no.
It's me.
No, I'm on number 7. Now again, I love this album, but it's their debut.
Yeah. My number 7 is the same thing.
Okay.
And it's really good. We can just kind of talk about it together, I guess. It's really good, but it is raw.
Very.
And they haven't totally found themselves yet.
Stephen hadn't found his voice yet.
And sometimes he's... I saw an interview recently. Recently meaning the last 10 years. And he's talking about why he sang like that sometimes. That was his like old black guy voice.
Yeah.
His bluesy thing.
I think it was Jack Douglas who
he thought
ended up telling him like, you can't do that on the next album. You got to be yourself.
And you don't really hear that on these, even though it's some of the earlier songs, a couple of the earlier songs where he did that, where he sounded like he was needing to use the restroom. And I like that. I like hearing these versions where he's singing more full voice. You know?
Yeah. So the thing with the first album, first of all, there's not a bad track on there. I like every single song.
It is great. It really is great.
But it's their first album, and it sounds like it's their first album. Mm-hmm. You know, there's just an innocence to it, which is actually part of its charm. Don't get me wrong.
The drum sounds are raw as hell.
Oh, the whole thing sounds like
rawer than the first Kiss album.
You could picture walking by a band playing in a garage, and that's what it sounds like. It's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. There's not many bands whose my 7th favorite album is an album I love this much. You know, just it's proof positive of how good the other albums are.
So that chapter in the Aerosmith book is one of the most interesting chapters because it talks about that they got signed to Columbia. The album came out in 72, 73? 72?
Wait.
73?
I think. Might have come out like January 73.
Right around there.
January 73, I think.
And they signed Bruce Springsteen right around the same time. Bruce, right off the bat, got a lot of promo and stuff. And they were kind of like, well, what the fuck? Of course, they had Dream On. I think Dream On was a hit right away to a degree. Right?
Might have been a minor hit at first, but it became a hit. They re-released it like 3 years later.
Better than nothing. At least they had some kind of something going on the radio. Yeah. So, but the thing is they go out and here's the interesting thing. They tour with Mahavishnu Orchestra when Mahavishnu was touring for Intermounting Flame, I think. Or maybe Birds of Fire had come out. I'm not sure if Birds of Fire had come out yet, but for Aerosmith, just straight hard rock. And then John McLaughlin and Billy Cobham and Jan Hammer, those guys coming out just ripping it up. And Steven Tyler said it was truly amazing to watch them play every night, but we didn't really belong on that tour.
Right.
So that's kind of an interesting thing about that era. They were put out with the wrong band on one of their first tours.
The Monkees played with Jimi Hendrix.
And Columbia had, been trying to pump Bruce Springsteen on the label at the same time, so they kind of had a rough start, it seems like, the first
The
tour.
album, it kind of failed, to be honest with you. But hey, they got their shit together a couple albums later, I'll tell you that.
It is good, and one of my favorite things on it is not their song. One of my favorite things is Walking the Dog. And if you go through and listen to the original, listen to the Stones version, listen to their version, and then who else? Somebody in the 80s did Walking the Dog. Who was that?
That does sound familiar.
It's somebody silly like, who is that? Enough is enough, or
King Cobra.
Enough to be tough, or something with 2 F's, or who is that? I don't know. Someone in the 80s did it also, I think, and you can listen to each version.
Yeah, they learned it from the Stones version, though, from what I understand.
I love their tempo.
Yeah, they're no strangers to doing covers. I don't think on every single album, but there's covers on a lot of their albums. So yeah, their debut, I love it.
Come Together has got to be the best cover.
Oh yeah,
that you could have of Come Together. I don't think I've heard a better version of it.
I mean, if you were going to tell me some drunk hard rock band was going to do a cover of Come Together, I'd be like, oh God.
It's good though.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. Both the live version on live bootleg and the studio version.
Yeah.
Very good.
So I guess you go ahead and go with your number 6, because I agree.
Right.
For us, it's funny that I thought you were going to be like, what? The first album, number 7? I thought you were going to slap me.
My number 6 is live bootleg.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I put it right in the middle of the pack is because half this album is super, super good. There's certain songs on here like Lord of the Thighs stands out as way better than the studio version. Studio version is fine.
Yeah, for me, Lord of the Thighs and Spaced on that album, though, that's a cool little pair of songs I love.
Chip Away the Stone. They were doing that live in 78, and they released it as a single. Actually, it was the only single from this album. And on the B-side was the studio version. And here's an interesting little fact for you guys. This picture right here was originally going to be for the cover of Chip Away the Stone single.
But it's such a good picture.
And it's funny, too, because Perry left during the recording of this. Mm-hmm. And I always wondered, well, why is he on the album cover, like, posing with the guys? Well, because this was way before he left. This was the Chip Away the Stone.
Well, he's on 99. So Crespo, someone did a solo, and someone did some rhythm on another song.
I heard he's on half of it. But
really?
Yeah.
Oh, because Brad, or yeah.
But we're going to get to this. I have a lot to say about this album.
Yeah.
But yeah, live bootleg. This is as raw as a live album gets, people. This isn't polished.
Come Together's on that, too.
Yeah. And, Sick as a Dog and Sight for Sore Eyes. I love that song.
Yeah.
There's just, again, it's not touched up.
Yeah.
It's raw, and it might even turn some people off because of that.
Yeah, it doesn't really sparkle.
No.
It's raw. But that's why they want it to be like that.
Yeah, it's live bootleg, right? Yeah, so like I said, about half the songs I like better than the studio version, so that's why it falls in the middle of the pack for me.
So for me, the next one is Night in the Ruts. And this is one that didn't really hit me until later. I didn't get it.
It didn't hit you right in the nuts?
It didn't hit me right in the nuts. It just didn't hit me because it doesn't start off with a big hit. It just, all the other ones start off with, Draw the Line or Walk This Way or whatever, or Same Old Song a Day. And this one just doesn't start with a big hit. And I'm guessing it was a letdown with the label because it just doesn't really have a big hit. It has that remake of Remember, which is cool. I like it. But was that a big hit for Aerosmith?
Nah.
Probably a minor hit.
Minor.
I don't know.
Minor at
I mean,
best.
I'm making that up. I really don't know, but it's yeah, but it's a really great sounding record, and there is really great riffs and performances throughout. The hooks, the choruses, for me, they're not quite what the mid 70s on that level. They're not quite on that level, but I would give it a it's close though. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It's a great album, but I think they were starting to have problems.
And again, Perry left basically in the middle of it. He's like,
yeah.
see ya. Yeah. I'm out of here.
So this probably would have had Let the Music Do the Talking. That would have been the big hit.
Oh, good point.
Right?
Good point.
So I think he had it at that point. Didn't he take it with him? I think he already had it.
Probably.
Written.
Because it was on his first solo album.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read the Aerosmith book, but that's a great book. It's Night in the Ruts is killer. It's a Jack Douglas album. It is a Jack Douglas album, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I think it is, yeah.
He was their man. He was their
Jason
dude.
just noticed.
Oh, the order form.
Jason just noticed it's got this cool order form. I think us in the KISS community feel like KISS are the only band that did that, but there's a bunch of bands that did that cool stuff.
KISS were known for it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, with a poster,
other bands took notice.
with tattoos, with a gatefold. Yeah,
totally. They were the best at merchandising.
Yeah. So yeah, great album.
Even like Gordon Lightfoot, there'd be like order forms and shit. So
yeah.
Everyone was jumping on the bandwagon.
Gordon Lightfoot tattoos.
Hey, who doesn't want one of those?
Yep.
I'll show you mine later.
Yeah, I know you have your sheet upside down.
Oh, before you can't see it. I like this to be a surprise to him.
Yeah, he's hiding it.
Yes. So, okay. So my number...
Check it out.
Well, I've seen your list. You don't hide yours. My number 5 is this guy right here. Their second album. I do have a slight problem with this album, and it's not a major one.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the performances, like on a lot of side one especially, like Lord of the Thighs, which is one of their best songs, but it's almost what I think of KISS's first album. It's like
could have been recorded better.
Could have been recorded better, and it sounds like they're really concentrating and trying to play it right, and there's no live feel whatsoever. Probably why I like the live version of Lord of the Thighs.
The drums are recorded way up close and, compress the hell out of them.
There's just not a whole lot of energy to a couple of the songs on here.
Executive producer Bob Ezrin.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, though. The high points on this album, Seasons of Wither, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Train Kept a Rollin' is one of the best covers I've heard on any album ever. Same Old Song Dance, absolutely their best first single. Yeah, Lord of the Thighs, again, is incredible. Pandora's Box is good. Written by Joey Kramer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a step up from their debut, I will say. And they got even better.
Cool. So 5 for me is Rock and a Hard Place. For me, this had a mystique because it was one of the last ones I got, and I just thought the cover looked so different from anything else. It didn't have them on it, and it looked Stonehenge-y, and I just love the color, the color palette there. I love the colors of it, and
that would look good descending from the top of the stage.
And the other thing about it is, this big. And the other thing about it is, I
said 10 feet.
I heard it wasn't that good, and that's what I heard. So when I checked it out from that Seattle library, the main branch in Seattle, brought it home that night, listened to it, I was amazed that it rocked really good, and it sounded really great, and it hit me hard. I thought it was really good. Like you've mentioned, it's not maybe what I thought. Because I was expecting it to be pretty lame from what I heard about it at the time. Kind of like if you're a KISS fan, what you hear about Elder until you hear it, and it's actually really good music, but does it compare to Rocks and whatnot? Not really, but it's got some really cool different vibes for them probably because Perry wasn't there, and those guitar players are good, man. I mean, they're good, and they're rock and roll, and they're like going through Marshalls and stuff. They sound bluesy and rockin', but kind of shredders,
Do you know who Crespo played with when he left Aerosmith?
They're good. Who?
Adam Baum.
Oh, really? Oh, I think
he also got David Krebs to.
I think I might know that. He played Adam Baum played the club that I work at here, and just about set the whole place on fire.
Literally
shooting rockets inside. It was
wow.
It was amazing. But yeah, for me, a great album. And Lightning Strikes that one song does a lot for me too.
That's a great song.
That's a really
cool video too.
Cool hard rock song.
Cool early '80s video.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, and they missed the boat on Lightning Strikes because the Warriors that came out a couple of years earlier. That would have been perfect for that soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
gang fights and all that.
Yeah.
So my number 4. Will you hand me? It's time to draw the line, Peter.
Oh, it's time to draw the line.
Right there, right between us. I guess I could have picked it from my stack. We both have it, right? Draw the line, number 4. Now, this album I would call a hot mess because they were fucked up. Cocaine was everywhere, all kinds of drugs. Needles are being put in arms. Countless bottles are being consumed. But somehow they came together and made a classic album. I mean, Kings and Queens, first of all, my second favorite Aerosmith song. We'll get to my favorite here coming up. Amazing song, majestic. Sight for Sore Eyes, we were listening to earlier. Nice, funky groove to that. Get It Up, amazing. Joe Perry Project just did a little tour, and they were doing Get It Up and some really cool songs. They did My Fist Your Face. So I wish that tour would come here.
For this album to have Draw the Line and Kings and Queens, those are two really big ones for me. In fact, I have a Aerosmith comp that I put on in the car, and those are the first 2 songs of my Aerosmith comp.
Yeah. Bright Light Fright. Joe Perry wrote it, sang it.
That's really up tempo.
Well,
is that the one?
He was inspired by the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
But if you want to hear one far out sax solo, listen to the one in that song. I read when he introduced it to the band, they hated it, but they let him put it on there. So that's cool. But yeah,
it is the odd man out on here, vibe-wise. It is.
Yeah.
But
it's fun to hear. Milk Cow Blues, it's a good cover. I love it. It's like I said, it's a hot mess, and it sounds like it, and you can tell they're messed up.
And we both have copies of this here, and we have ones that have not been colored, because you see this in stores a lot.
Oh,
where it's been colored,
kind of like the Who by Numbers.
And this one, I think it's mine.
That's yours, yeah. Check that out.
Mine has the cool, and this is kind of a cool order form. I'd love to get that shirt. If I could get that shirt these days. I don't know if they've recreated that shirt. They probably have.
By the way, so Perry, or not Perry, well, he was probably out of it too, but Tyler was so out of it, he wouldn't even finish lyrics. It was hard to get him to write lyrics. And Critical Mass, those are lyrics by Jack Douglas. Like, Tyler couldn't even be bothered to write his own lyrics. So Jack Douglas, he was kind of the architect.
I'm going to say, though,
more important on this album than others.
I'm going to say lyrically, it is common to kind of draw blank at times. Especially
when your head is so clouded.
Yeah. But you got a good song and you got a melody, but it's like, what do I sing about now? I already sang about girls. They already sang about drugs. They already sang, you know what I mean?
What you do? You sing about girls and drugs.
I guess you sing about girls again. Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, great album. And what do you know? My number 4 is Draw the Line, and we just kind of talked about it. So,
by the way, I got a marker, and I got this album. Do you mind if I color it in?
Yeah. Go
you don't mind, because this is my copy. I'm going to do that.
Put fangs on all of them or something. So yeah, Draw the Line. I didn't notice it was also my
okay. Yeah.
For now, but so I'll hand it back to you. But it's a great album. It's really close to kind of like their top pair. I think the top two albums are probably going to be the same. And on most people's, really? You're gonna get weird? You're gonna get weird on me?
I'm gonna get weird.
On most people's lists, I bet my top 2 are probably everyone's top 2. But
okay, my top 3.
Okay.
So I talked earlier about how something like Done with Mirrors, I would have thought would have been way up higher in my list. This next album I thought would have been a little bit lower, but after listening to it the last few days. It's funny because I was watching Sea of Tranquility's album rankings of Aerosmith, and he said like the exact same thing. He said he was listening to it on a walk, and it was really hitting him, and it's up high in his ratings too. But I'm talking about Right in the Nuts from '79. We've already talked about it already, but No Surprise is one of the great album openers in their catalog. Amazing. But the song I really want to highlight, 3 Mile Smile. That is pure Zeppelin. Those are Page riffs. But they do it so well. I love the rhythm to it. Chiquita is a great song. There's a video for that. Chiquita! Wasn't a single. The single was Remember Walking in the Sand. Bone to Bone, Coney Island Whitefish Boys, a good rocker.
I wonder if they messed up doing that too, because at that point,
yeah, I know what you mean.
A rocker might have done, maybe done better for him. I don't know.
Yeah,
Chiquita's good.
Think About It's a good Yardbirds cover. Again, they're tackling the Yardbirds.
Mm-hmm. Steven's favorite group of all time, I think.
Yeah. Cheesecake's good. It's just to me, it's a completely solid album. It actually doesn't sound like a band falling apart. Whereas if you listen to Draw the Line, you might start to think maybe they will implode.
There's some care into it too, because I think, although I do love Draw the Line, it's way up there. I do think that Night in the Ruts is a little bit better recording. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
It's really consistent recording-wise, and performances. Sonically, I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah. So again, I would have placed it lower a couple weeks ago, but after listening to it these last few days, especially today, driving around, I'm like, yeah. But 3 Mile Smile, that's top 5 songs for me, Aerosmith. Amazing. What do you have a number? You're up to number 3 for you.
Yep, so my 3 is Get Your Wings, and let's see, I guess we talked about it. I don't know.
I put it in my stack. I'm planning on taking it.
Is it mine? Oh, this is my copy?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say that you didn't say. Same Old Song and Dance isn't as high up for me in faves as it is most people. It's kind of bar bandish, which I guess they kind of are.
I love the horns in it, by the way.
That's kind of what makes it bar
bandish.
It kind of makes it Blues Brothers-ish, I suppose, which I don't necessarily want to hear in my Aerosmith, but it's not. It's fun.
I never thought of it that way.
I definitely don't skip it.
To me, it sounds like a good just FM radio classic.
And those songs that sound kind of like empty and weird and dry to you, the Lord of the Thighs in Space, like,
and
God,
Woman of the World.
Yep, God, I love those. I mean, sometimes I go straight to those, and they're not recorded perfect, but I love them.
I mean, Lord of the Thighs is one of their best songs.
So like, you got, and then you got.
It's the same
Lord
as
of
Walk
Thighs.
This Way.
It goes, and I'll do that at practice or at different rehearsals with different people, and see how cool they are with Aerosmith, and see if they can get it. Because at first they're gonna think it's Walk This Way, but then there's those extra couple kick drum beats, and I don't know if anyone's ever gotten it. I usually have to tell people.
I'd get it.
But you would, yeah, you'd get it. But
I'd be like, let's cover that.
I love those. I think it's a great album. It just can't be quite as immaculate as my top 2, but it's great.
Not many albums can.
What you got?
So I've noticed from peeking at your list that our top 2 is exactly the same.
Of course it is.
No surprise.
No surprises.
So let's talk about our number 2.
Where are they?
There's one.
I don't have Rocks on vinyl. I haven't seen it on vinyl for years.
But we're not talking about rocks. We're talking about Toys in the Attic at number 2.
It's cool, man. Yeah, I haven't had Rocks on vinyl for years.
So
this one, it's just got all the classic stuff on it,
Smells like a used record store. Yeah, okay, here's why it's my number 2 and not number 1. Big 10-inch record. That's why. It's
great though, but it ain't hard rock.
It's a little too silly and novelty-ish for me. But let's talk about the good stuff. Also, Walk This Way, Burnout Factor.
Yeah, there's some Burnout Factor on here.
Yeah, Rocks doesn't have that. We're going to get to that. But Uncle Salty, I was listening to it's one of those songs, you'll know what I mean, people out there. It's so good you immediately have to repeat it and play it again.
Yeah.
And I noticed in Uncle Salty, during It's a Sunny Day Outside My Window, listen to the guitar riffs going on. That's pure Beatles. So, I mean, like pure Beatles, mid-60s Beatles.
For me, Toys in the Attic, Uncle Salty, Adam's Apple, and then Sweet Emotion, of course.
I'm not sick of that.
Of course, but like I was in a cover band for a little bit, and they wanted to do Sweet Emotion, and I had to do it, and it was really long, repetitive, and it's a great song on the radio, but I don't want to play it myself, honestly. But No More, Round and Round, See Me Crying, all those songs, those are all repeaters for me. Those repeaters for Peter.
Round and Round sounds like it's Soundgarden 15 years before Soundgarden.
By the time they got to this point, I think Round and Round is just amazing. I think all the rockers agree. Round and Round is badass.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got to this point, the deep tracks were just as good as the hits. But the hits were meant to be hits because they had that thing, you know. They had that radio hook or whatever. But like Round and Round and See Me Crying and stuff.
You See Me Crying is one of the best ballads in their catalog.
Personally, that's amazing. This is when the deep tracks. This is when every song on the album was just kind of like a 10. I mean, for me, but I admit, Big 10 Inch is it's different. Yeah. It's kind of like Happy Trails on Diver Down.
Oh, there exactly.
Or Then She Kissed Me on Love Gun. It's like, it's fun, but kind of wish they put a real song on there, one of their songs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shall we lead into Rocks?
Just really quick, I want to say
that's a badass album cover too.
Up until like 2 or 3 years ago, this was my favorite Aerosmith album, and there was no question about it. But then Rocks really hit me one day, and
there's a lot of depth on Toys in the Attic.
There is.
It's really rich with color, and it's really great. I don't think the recording is just quite as sharp as Rocks, but it's really close.
Rocks is a bit of a darker album. It rocks more, no pun intended. So let's talk about our number one.
And the flow on Rocks. I mean, holy shit. Every song comes in. That magic song that needs to lift the tempo or just make that correct shift, it all happens perfectly from start to end. I mean, it's a perfect album.
My favorite Aerosmith song, Combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not a bad track.
There's really nothing you could take off of this.
Not a bad track.
Even the big hit, Back in the Saddle, for me, zero burnout factor.
Oh.
To hear him scream like that, I'll play it over and over.
And the next song, Last Child, is my favorite song of theirs that's been a single.
Mm-hmm. Combination and Round. That's a good little pairing right there. Some heavy shit, but Sick as a Dog.
I think Nobody's Fault is this album's Round and Round.
Yeah.
Just a really, second side heavy rocker that comes out of nowhere. Get the Lead Out.
And how come they didn't spell that like LED?
I always wondered that. Because it obviously is inspired by Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. Home Tonight is an amazing Tyler ballad.
So I read or watched something a little bit about when Joey was doing his drum tracks for this. He had a dynamic mic, and I think it was a 58, and he had to go into a bass amp that was behind him so he could feel the kick drum when he was playing and just be able to kind of get off on it more. And he did that for this album, and I guess they say that the sound, that fullness, that low end kind of got in the overhead mics and stuff too, and it just helped shape the album.
Yeah, to me it's their best sounding album. And when you consider that Draw the Line was their next album, that's what success does to you, man. They were so wasted by the time they did their next album after this. Things weren't the same.
For me, you hear some of the later albums like Rockin' Hard Place. Like, it's way up there for me, but it's not a perfect vocal take every moment throughout the whole album, but it is on here.
This is their peak.
It is on here. It's the peak in every way. Like, I think let's admit the drugs that I guess the label was hooking up for them at this point to get albums churned out, and I guess that was happening for a lot of bands, it was working. That balance was working, and it wasn't too far over at this point. Everything was just firing on all cylinders, and the sound of things, the performances, and probably their excitement for trying to just keep up what they had going with Toys in the Attic. Yeah, it was just the perfect album at the perfect time, and for me, it's got just a perfect flow from song to song. It unravels absolutely perfectly. Mm-hmm. I've always been really passionate about this album. So.
You know what was a weird thought I had when I was listening to this today?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Rocks is the album Motley Crue was always trying to make.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Which they did once with Shout the Devil.
Well, I prefer Rocks. But speaking of that, Lickin' a Promise, how it kind of fades in and with the fast drums, that's Red Hot.
Yeah.
That's where they got that from.
Yeah.
That's where Motley Crue got it from. But yeah, this is the album Nikki Sixx always wanted to make. Like Something for Nothing from Girls, Girls, Girls. You can tell he's just trying to write an Aerosmith type song. Yeah. He's trying to do it.
I think most rockers, I think this is the album. And Slash and a lot of people, this is the album,
Yeah.
It's undeniable, really. I mean, somebody might like Toys more a little bit or whatever, but most people, it's everything about it, you know, just the way it was captured and everything.
Toys is the only other Aerosmith album somebody could say that's my favorite Aerosmith album, and I wouldn't like scoff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if somebody's like, "Oh, Done with Mirrors is my favorite,"
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, come on, man."
When I hear the later stuff, the stuff in the mid '80s, the Dude Looks Like a Lady and stuff like that, I think it's even more miraculous when I put this on that they had the integrity they did. Because, you know, it doesn't have a ton of big hits. It has Back in the Saddle, and is that really the only
Last
hit?
Child was a radio hit.
Probably a minor hit, but
yeah.
Back in the Saddle is, of course, one of the biggest ones. But even Draw the Line has 2 kind of big hits on it, right? I mean,
yeah.
and Toys in the Attic has like 3. It doesn't have 2 or 3. So I don't know. It's just great music from start to end, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Back in the Saddle has got a really fresh, cool thing to it, even though we've heard it so much. That thing that happened with Janie's Got a Gun doesn't happen with it doesn't happen with Back in the Saddle.
Oh God.
So yeah, kind of a perfect album.
Yes, absolutely. Aerosmith, possibly the best American hard rock band of all time.
And well, there's Doors.
Hard rock band of all time.
Yeah, hard. Well, yeah, there's Kiss, but then hard rock band of all time.
Yeah.
Aerosmith kind of did one thing. They didn't have that big show like Kiss. They didn't. I guess my point is they didn't really have a lot of gimmicks, really.
Not at all.
But they just
Scarves. That was their gimmick.
scarves. They just did it. You know what I mean? They didn't have a Eddie Van Halen that would shred your face off like, oh my God, that was amazing. It's just like good rock and roll solos. And they didn't have they didn't have a visual spectacle.
You
really.
could tell they were kind of going for hard rock Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
You know, even though the Stones got pretty flamboyant and outrageous with giant dildos on stage and stuff, Aerosmith never went that route. So more power to them for keeping it simple.
They just rocked. You know.
Yeah. Rocks.
They just rocked.
No.
Yeah.
Aerosmith.
Like my aunt, when I was a teenager, my aunt said, yeah, I just saw ZZ Top. I think it was El Loco tour, and it was in Seattle. So whichever one they came for Seattle for. No, maybe I think it was probably Eliminator. And she goes, yeah, Petey. That's what everybody in my family called me when I was like 10 or 11. You know, Petey. Petey, guess what? I saw ZZ Top, and it was just the 3 of them up there, and they didn't really move around or anything, but they just played awesome. No, there's really no gimmicks. You know, they just played.
They have a huge gimmick though.
Twirl their guitar, but what?
Well, their beards and
the drummer's
twirling
name is Beard.
And the synchronicity they have going on.
I mean, compared to Kiss, they have no gimmicks really.
Yeah.
But I mean, so they just got up there and they just rocked. They just played. You know, It's kind of like that with Aerosmith. So.
Yeah, Aerosmith. You know, just down to basics. You know, and they have the grooves and all the riffs to keep you enthused.
It proves it is really about the songs. It really is about the music.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on. So, we again are skipping out on our weekly Beatles thing we were doing.
Oh, we'll get to it.
We are going to get to that. This was kind of a...
We're just feeling Aerosmith, really. I want to do it.
So thank you for watching. And subscribe, all that stuff. There's other album rankings you'll see. We did Sabbath a couple weeks ago, right? That's on there. Okay. You know what we haven't done? We've never ranked Kiss's albums.
Really?
No, we've never done it.
It's a lot of albums.
It's 20. Well, if you just count the studio ones.
It's 40 if I'm talking about it and you're talking about it.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, we could
if
do
one
that.
person asks us to
See,
do Kiss.
You're trying to get us off Beatles again. See what
I
you're
am. So thank you for watching. We will be back with Sgt. Pepper's our next album we're doing.
Our next stop.
Thank you for watching. I'm Jason. This is Peter.